Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second week of the Pokemon Metronome League. Our battles for this week in our first match, as you can see, we have Biscuit versus Lapis, and then we'll move on to um, Mid versus Seahawk, then Orr versus Jet, then Mercy versus Crystal, and finally Maisie versus Bats. But here we go on to our first match then. And Biscuit sends out Wobbuffet whilst Lapis sends out Togekiss. Togekiss will use Attract, but Magic Bounce bounces it back, and the Togekiss is infatuated and it won't move. Metal Burst won't work there. Lapis with the obvious switch there. Ordino with Water Shuriken. It won't do a whole lot, but it hits 5 times, which is good for them. Drill Peck. Ordino takes the Future Sight there. Earth Power for Ordino has low speed now, and it goes for Brutal Swing for some super effective damage. Not a whole lot, and now Heat Crash. Sandsteer Storm now, and then Psyshield Bash comes out, which ups the Wobbuffet's defense. Quiver Dance, and now the Ordino is especially very good, and it will take out the Wobbuffet. Here comes the Duck Spun out now. Bubble Beam for the Ordino, and it goes for Petal Dance, which it will be forced to use for the next few turns, and it's immediately confused. And the obvious switch there, Wing Attack for Ordino there. Dragapult goes for a Side Strike, putting the Ordino in the red, but Ordino goes for Shore Up, healing its health, and Defog now lowers the Darkspon's evasion. First impression from Darkspun, but Hyper Voice will get rid of the Darkspun. Dragapult goes for Thunderbolt, won't get paralysis. Harden ups the Ordino's defense. Hydro Cannon and the Dragapult must recharge. Pain Split, and that was a good turn for Lapis as the Dragapult has more health. But it goes for Sing, and it misses. Ice Spinner. Frenzy Plant now, and it must recharge. Ice. No, yeah, again. Future Sight. It takes the Future Sight attack, and then it goes for Roar of Time, which won't be effective. Bind, I think that was. Psycho Cut. Then Whirlpool out here, and Dragapult is forced to be in and is probably gone the next turn, but Shadow Sneak takes it out anyway. Here comes the Tinkerton out now, looking to at least get rid of the Ordino. This seems, and Ordino's gone, but this seems like it's very in favor of Lapis this match. And Bullet Seed will hit 5 times there. Cotton Spore, lowering the Tinkerton's speed. Dragon Tail for a bit of super effective damage, but Togekiss is forced in now. And Tinkerton is burned, which means that it's probably over. Stored power won't do anything, and its accuracy is now down. Shockwave is resisted, and the chip damage just chipping away at the Tinkerton, but goes for Strength Sap, which does heal it up. Aqua Step now for the Hydreigon. Electro Web misses, and on to the next turn, Terrain Pulse, and Lunar Blessing, and it heals up again. Focus Energy, and now the Hydreigon's more likely to crit, and it just goes for Water Gun here. Flower Trick, and that's a critical hit, as it always is, but not much. Flame Wheel does a bit of damage. Fell Stinger, and it goes for Hurricane, and it's confused. Aqua Step again. Triple Dive, and the Tinkerton has to eat its Lapperberry now, and it goes for Shadow Force, but the Tinkerton sets up Electric Terrain, but this match is over. Lapis will win the first match of this set as we move on to our second battle. Wobbuffet and Metapod is sent out this time. Hillbell, it won't do anything, as nothing's happened in this match yet. Foul play for the Metapod. Fairy Wind does a little bit of damage there. Side Shot and Zap Cannon, and it's paralyzed. Whirlwind forces it out, forces Ordino to come in now. Cross Poison, or Skill Swap, and now Ordino has Magic Bounce, whilst Wobbuffet has Healer, but it switches out into Tinkerton, and Ordino gets Focus Energy. Rock Polish, upping the Tinkerton's speed. Not that it really mattered. Oh, but Imprison now, and that will not be good for Lapis. Lapis is going to have to be forced to struggle. The Guillotine Okos it anyway. And Razor Shell coming out. Lapis just forced to struggle. And this looks like it could be a complete sweep. Struggle again. Not doing very much damage. Trick Room. The recoil damage. And it is gone. And you think that it's over for this match. Struggle and Sacred Sword there just has to keep on struggling. Will it at least be able to take out the Tinkerton? The Tinkerton must recharge from that Hyper Beam. The struggle's not doing a whole lot though, but Shell Smash though, I'm not sure if that will really matter, as but the Hydreigon does take out the Tinkerton, and this should be disable, but Magic Bounce, and it has to struggle once again because of Magic Bounce, and it is gone. Biscuit will win game number 2, as we have to go to a third match in this set. And off they go. Wobbuffet once again for Biscuit, but Lapis starts with Ordino. Oh, entrainment gives Ordino Magic Bounce there. Double hit, will hit twice, only 5% of damage there. Reversal won't do very much. Roar of Time, and it must recharge the Wobbuffet. String Shot is Magic Bounced back, and Acupressure will up the Wobbuffet's special defense. The Tail Slap will hit 5 times. Good one for Ordino, but Milk Drink heals Wobbuffet almost up to full health there. Energy Ball coming from the Wobbuffet. Bubble Beam. Ordino for a little bit of damage. Blast Burn will miss. Aroma Arctic Mist will fail their Sweet Kiss, but Magic Bounce will just confuse the Ordino instead. Ceaseless Edge, and now there's spikes on Lapis's side. Magnet Rise, making the Wobbuffet immune to ground. Now Thunderbolt coming out now. Wing Attack for the Wobbuffet, and they're both on equal health. Brave Bird. Wobbuffet taking very little damage from that recoil. Eruption now doing little damage. Poison Powder, but since Ordino has Magic Bounce, it will bounce back on to Wobbuffet. Ordino's special attack is now down now. Inferno hits and will get a burn. And it looks like they both could be down soon. Goes for Taunt, but it's Magic Bounce back. But it doesn't really matter as the Wobbuffet is down anyway. Ordino hurt by that burn there. Here comes the Tinkerton now, and it almost KOs the Ordino, but it's gone due to the burn. And out comes the Togekiss now. Tinkerton takes a little bit of damage from that Aqua Cutter. Stomp doesn't do a whole lot, but Gravity from the Togekiss. Tinkerton goes for Ember. Charge Beam now, and it goes for Bite and Rock Smash coming out from the Togekiss. And it's Water Gun. Shockwave, and that does a decent amount of damage with Tinkerton. Zap Cannon, and that does a good amount of damage. Charge now ups its special defense, I believe. Sacred Sword coming from the Tinkerton. Blast Burn, and that will easily get rid of the Tinkerton. Darkspun comes out, and the Tinkerton the Togekiss forces the Darkspun to switch out into Dragapult, and it will be paralyzed so that it cannot move on this turn. Thunder now, and that should easily get rid of the Togekiss. Here comes the Hydreigon Stone Edge, which is a critical hit and does a decent amount of damage. Shell Side Arm there. Goes for Fire Fang, and it will miss. Bitter Blade does decent, healing the Hydreigon up a bit, but it's in a taunt now, which means it will switch out into the Metapod. Psychic Fangs coming out from Dragapult, and Icy Wind does a decent amount of damage, lowers its speed, not that it really matters as it was slower anyway. Sheer Cold out, but it does miss. Metapod goes for Recover, healing 50%, and Hydreigon's back out now. Terrain Pulse does a decent amount. Sludge Wave does an okay amount there. Acid for some really good damage there, super effective move. Light Screen coming out now, making it stronger against special moves. And Wondering now, defense and special defense are swapped now. Solar Blade comes out, and then Hydreigon using Fly. Darkspun uses Present, but it of course misses. The Darkspun is almost gone. It uses Cut for some okay damage, and the Darkspun is gone. Only Dragapult, who is left for for Biscuit now, but the Hydreigon is on low health right now with only a Metapod left in the back. Metapod will take damage from those spikes. Oh, and it uses Yawn, which means Lapis will immediately switch back. Sludge Wave, Bullet Punch takes out the Hydreigon, and the Metapod is the last one standing for Lapis in a 1v1 scenario. Mudslap lowers its accuracy. Bar Barrage misses. and it will go for dig. Sweet Kiss will of course miss as it's underground. Ally Switch won't work as this isn't a doubles battle. Fire Pledge there. Drill Peck almost takes out the Metapod. The Metapod lives on 2% though. Bone Rush and a Cursed Body, and its Metronome is disabled, having to struggle. And Biscuit will win the match 2-1. Biscuit will have a +2 Pokemon difference now. Lapis is also on +2, but we move on to our second match, which is Mid against Seahawk. Unfortunately, the first match was not able to be saved, but Mid did win that battle 1 Pokemon to 0, with Garchomp being the lone survivor. But they start off with Clink and Gallade. Parabolic Charge will heal the Clink. Liquidation for some huge damage there. Leech Seed, and it misses. That could have been good for Mid, but Ice Punch does a huge amount of damage again, and Liquidation gets rid of the Clink. The Love Disc comes out now. Payback. Parabolic Charge for some good damage there, healing the Gallade as well. Haze, the stats will be reset. I'm not sure if there were any stat changes, but the Love Disc is paralyzed now as Frost Breath comes out. Earth Power and now Agility, upping the Gallade's speed. Love Disc is paralyzed as so it won't be able to move. Uses Moonlight to heal it up. But Power Whip comes out and the Love Disc is down anyway. Gallade uses Super Power and the Snorlax is almost KO'd from that. Bar Barrage and the Gallade's poisoned and the Gallade is down. The Uxie comes out. If you remember, the Uxie was chosen by the randomizer. The only way you could have gotten a legendary or mythical in this tournament was through the randomizer, which Seahawk was lucky enough to get, but it is ingrained now, which means it can't switch, but it will be slowly healing whatever damage it takes now. Entrainment means that Garchomp no longer has rough skin and instead levitate, which doesn't really help the Garchomp. Ember comes out for some resisted damage, and it's burned now. Stomping Tantrum won't do much. Focus Blast is a critical hit and does some good amount of damage. Brave Bird now, and it looks like this match is pretty much over. Cotton Spore lowering its speed, but Judgment and the Garchomp is down to the burn. And we go on to our, I think, third match of the heat of the match now. Gallade and Clink starting once again. This time we're watching from Seahawk's perspective. Arm Thrust will not do a whole lot of damage, hitting twice. It goes for Coil, the Gallade, upping its attack, defense, and accuracy. And that's a very good move. And Aura Sphere will wipe out the Clink. Worry Seed means that Gallade now has Insomnia. Leaf Storm almost getting rid of the Love Disc, and this is a very good start for Seahawk. The Love Disc on 1% now, and it is gone. The Gust. Here comes the Snorlax now. Gallade going for Happy Hour, which won't do anything. Snorlax sets up the Sun. Sludge coming out. Dragon Rush for a decent amount of damage. Double Team, which upscales evasion, and Tickle, which removes the attack buff. Ally Switch won't work as this isn't once again a doubles battle. Leaf Blade comes out, does an okay amount of damage, but the Sunflower is dragged out here, and Steel Wing does a decent amount of damage. No Retreat, upping all its stats, but it cannot escape. Garchomp Flare Blitz will take out the Sunflora, even with those stat beasts, easily. Water Spout out there, Uproar does will hit a few times, but no, the Glade is down, but the Uxie comes out now. Icy Wind for okay damage there. Ember is resisted by the Garchomp. Defog lowering the Uxie's in evasion. Nuzzle there, but it doesn't affect the Garchomp. Lunar Blessing healing the Uxie up to full. Wandering there, and Rough Skin will hurt the Uxie a little bit there. Magnetic Flux won't do anything. Draining Kiss will heal it up a little bit. Rock Polish upping the speed, but I'm not sure if that really mattered as the Uxie speed was down. Knock off for huge damage and knocking off the Uxie's Leper Berry, and Uxie is down from the Scold. Garchomp takes the Future Sight attack but is still alive. Burning Jealousy taking half of Zoroark's health. And Stun Spore misses, and Power Trip, which will switch its attack and defense there. Reflect type, Garchomp becoming normal Ghost type. Acupressure ups its defense, having to dig into its Leper Berry. Dragon Tail and Snorlax is forced out. Mystical Power there. Metronome, Psycho Cut for Snorlax. False Swipe does a little bit of damage. Shadow Sneak will not do anything, as it is a normal type. Giga Impact also doesn't do anything. Seed Bomb and the Zoroark is down. Mid will win the set by 2 games to 1. Mid still on a -3 difference, and Seahawk on a +3 difference still. And on to our next match, we have Jet and Orr now. Orr sends out Smeargle, Jet, Butterfree, Brick Break, Blast Burn for some huge damage there, but it must recharge there. It's recharging its turn. U-turn, and Smeargle has to switch, and it goes into Dusknoir. Water Pledge comes out. Moonlight healing the Butterfree, and Rain Dance there. Smeargle is down now to the Butterfree. Starmie comes out. Low Sweep there, and Tackle, and Bitter Blade from the Butterfree. And Air Slash doing some huge damage to the Butterfree. And Petal Dance almost taking out the Starmie, and they're both on very low health. Petal Dance takes out the Starmie there. Roaring Moon comes out, and Butterfree is subject to Torment, which means it is now confused and will have to struggle if it stays in. Well, no, it goes for Rest, though, and immediately switches out. Leaf Blade and Revelation Dance there. Misty Terrain, and the Dusknoir comes back in. Seed Bomb there, Drill Peck for the throw, and Air Slash doing a decent amount of damage there. Stone Edge does also a decent amount. Shadow Ball, the Cut is immune because Dusknoir is a ghost type. Aqua Cutter bringing the throw down to the red. Spatial Rend, and now Flower Trick will get rid of the throw. Ferrothorn out now. Worry Seed will give it Insomnia. Power Trick swapping its attack and defense, but switches into Lucario, but it is asleep because of Spore, and the Misty Terrain is up once again. Sweet Scent lowers the Lucario's evasion. Axe Kick won't do anything, it's immune, and it will take heavy recall damage from that. Focus Blast is immune once again. Inferno will take out the Lucario though. And Ferrothorn comes out now. Rollout, but it's hurt by the iron barbs, of course. Double kick won't do anything. Once again, rollout, having to keep on going for rollout will eventually get rid of the Dusknoir, leaving it only with Roaring Moon, which the Roaring Moon will go for. Roost, Tar Shot now, lowering its speed. Vice Grip, hurt by the iron barbs. Shore Up, healing the Ferrothorn. Sandsear Storm will burn the Ferrothorn, halving its attack as well in the process, but Wrap will have some chip damage, and you might think this could be the end of the battle. Tackle, and the Iron Barbs hurts it once again. Gravity coming out once again, and Drain Punch does some good damage, but and it heals a little bit, Giga Drain, but it's just nullified by the burn. Night Days, and this this is the end of the first battle. Jet wins the first battle as we move on to the second battle of this set. Jet sends out Butterfree, or sends out the Smeargle for once again the same start. The Smeargle inflicting some huge damage onto the Butterfree. Volt Switch does some good damage, but is forced to switch into the throw. Wandering there. Knockoff gets rid of the Smeargle there. Dusknoir coming out. Tail Whip there, lowering the Dusknoir's defense. Corrosive Gas there. Feather Dance will lower the throw's attack. Iron Defense, upping the throw's defense there. Its throw is switched out. Both teams actually switch out into Butterfree and Starmie. Glaive Rush there. Ice Beam gets rid of Jet's Butterfree. And Lucario comes out. Zap Cannon would have done a huge amount, but it misses. Poison Powder also misses. Mega Drain there, super effective. And then Dusknoir comes out there. Smart Strike will do an okay amount of damage. Lunar Blessing won't work there. Screech lowers the Lucario's defense. The Dusknoir is now paralyzed. Flower Trick for some decent amount of damage. Throw comes out now, and it's subject to taunt, and you would suspect the switch there into Lucario. Draining Kiss healing the Dusknoir up a bit, and Volt Switch forcing it to switch into Starmie, and Milk Drink heals the Lucario, and it's back up to 100. Rock Blast there will not do very much at all. Hits 3 times, only takes 2% of damage. Moonlight there for Starmie, healing up. Switches into the Dusknoir now. going for reversal does not do anything, and it switches into Stormy. Retaliate there. Surf does a huge amount of damage. Eerie Impulse there, lowering the special attack. Discharge paralyzes the Lucario. Sky attack, and it should get rid of the Lucario, and it does. Chair the Ferrothorn comes out now. Grass Pledge won't do very much though. Magic Room coming out. And now Starmie's a pure water type now, getting rid of its psychic typing. Surf there will not do very much at all. Acid, but the Ferrothorn is immune to that. False Swipe will leave it on 1 HP, and it goes for self-destruct. Whilst the Starmie is in Shadow Force, and that was a very unfortunate turn for Jet there, leaving Jet only with the throw left, and it's looking like a very good position for all here. Headlong Rush, and now it's subject to Torment, and it's basically over. The throw isn't very good defensively. Hypnosis misses. Nasty Claw upping its special attack, but it's over now. Struggle will take the recoil damage from that, and Ore makes it 1-1 as we move on to our final match of this set. Okay, the same starting lineup once again. It goes for Mist. Strength Sap won't do anything, as they're both at full. Milk Drink, once again, trying to heal whilst it's at full health. Petal Dance now, doing some damage there. Nasty Claw, upping its special attack. And the Smeargle's now on pretty low health. Simple Beam gives it simple, and Smeargle is immediately gone, but now the Butterfree is confused. Roaring Moon comes out, and so does Lucario. Zen Headbutt does a lot of damage there. Sucker Punch will fail there. Fire Punch there. Poltergeist, and the Lucario is down. Out comes the Ferrothorn. Lumina Crash won't do a whole lot of damage, but it will lower the special defense by a lot. But Butterfree comes out now. Aqua Jet now. Scorching Sands, but the Butterfree is immune to that. Whirlwind will force Starmie to come out there. Aqua Jet, once again, will not do much damage to Starmie, and the Butterfree is now asleep. Ice Shard does quite a lot of damage there. And Draining Kiss heals the Starmie up to 4, and the Butterfree is now gone. Out comes the Ferrothorn once again. Dragon Pulse, Aromatic Mist, Rock Polish there, Energy Ball, and Zen Headbutt will miss. Fake Out will not work, as this is not the first turn. Defend Order, Starmie upping its defensive stats there. Night Days does a decent amount of damage. Overheat won't do very much, as it is resisted. Throw coming out now. Play Nice, lowering its attack. Shadow Sneak coming up. Mark Punch there. Blast Burn does quite a bit of damage. Present, and it recharges. Dream Eater won't do anything as it's not asleep. Fiery Dance doing some okay damage. Spatial Rend not doing very much. Fisher comes out, but it does miss though. Solar Blade, and it or makes the obvious switch into Roaring Moon there. Force Palm does an okay amount of damage there. Glaive Rush doing a good amount of damage there, almost getting rid of the Roaring Moon. Extra Sensory is immune, and they're both on very low health, but the Roaring Moon is down first. This is a pretty close battle here, but Future Sight comes out, and the throw is gone, which means the Ferrothorn will take the Future Sight attack there. Gyro Ball, the Iron Barbs, does get rid of the Starmie, and the Future Sight does a good amount of damage there. The Dusknoir comes out on full health. Psychic Fangs is affected by the Iron Barbs, but this could be the end of the battle here. And Aurora Veil fails Magnet Rise, making it immune to ground. Zing Zap and hurt by the Iron Barbs. Once again, Happy Hour will not do anything. Seed Bomb and Pound is immune, and it that is the end of this set. Or will win the match by 2 games to 1, or will have a neutral difference on 0, whilst Jet is still on a positive Pokemon difference of +2. As we move on to a Crystal against Mercy. Ribbon comes out, and so does Bouncy the Gyarados. Tar Shot there, lowering its speed, but Defiant ups its attack. Parabolic Charge there, Struggle Bug there, and the Defiant ups the Gyarados' attack once again. Water Pulse won't do very much. Meteor Beam doing an okay amount. Glaive Rush there doing an okay amount. Meteor Beam coming out, upping its special attack. Struggle Bug there, and the Meteor Beam gets rid of the Gyarados there. The Swoobat comes out, Poison Jab for some super effective damage. Lunge gets a crit, and the Swoobat's attack is down. High horsepower. Shell Smash, lowering its defensive stats but upping its attacking stats. Magnet Rise, making the Sylveon immune to ground now. Rock Smash, defense is once again lowered for the Swoobat. Thunder misses, and that's unfortunate. Esper Wing gets rid of the Sylveon, and the Plusle comes out now. Eerie Impulse, Mega Kick, Leafage now. Here's Icy Wind, and the Swoobat is now down. Grimmsnarl, the Icicle Spear, and it will not get rid of the Plusle, but Memento will. Dauntless Shield Shuckle coming out now. Psycho Cut there. And Flail not doing very much damage. Smog, and it's the Shuckle is poisoned now. Poltergeist coming out. The Shuckle's going to be hurt by that poison every time its special defense is now down. Barb Barrage for a little bit of super effective damage, but not very much. Payback there. Swords Dance upping the Shuckle's attack stats, but that poison is doing very much. Zap Cannon misses. Stone Edge for some good damage. Cosmic Power upping its defensive stats there. Round coming out. It's going to the Shuckle's down now, and finally out comes the Pansear. Petal Blizzard, the double kick, and that won't do very much. Sticky Web and Poison Jab, almost getting rid. Oh, but it is poisoned, which does get rid of the Grimmsnarl. Mega Kick misses. Magic Powder makes the Pansear a Psychic type now. Curse lowers its speed but ups its attack and defensive stats. Pollen Puff does a good amount of damage there. Head Smash but hurt by the recoil, and the Venom Shot. Uh, and Mercy takes the win in this first battle as we move on to the second battle here. And off we go, starting off once again with the Gyarados and Sylveon. Blizzard does an okay amount. Night Slash does a decent amount now. Hyper Voice, not too much there. Takedown does a good amount, but once again, Sylveon's hurt by the recall. Soap makes the Sylveon a water type now. Defiant ups the Gyarados' attack and huge damage on the Sylveon there. Sylveon getting Esper Wing there. X-Scissor and Sylveon is now down. Final Gambit from Plusle, which makes the Gyarados and it down. And now, I don't know if that was a very good choice from the Plusle there. Shuckle with a lot of stat boosts here. Zap Cannon misses those. Skill Swap, and now Shuckle as Prankster, which Dark is immune to Prankster, but it the Grimmsnarl switches out and switches back in. Crystal may want to switch here, but it stays in. Pansear coming out now. Power Trip and Present gets rid of the Pansear, and the Shuckle comes back in once again with the Dauntless Shield. Dragon Rush, the Volt Tackle there. And now Entrainment giving once again Shuckle Prankster, but it can't do anything as the Grimmsnarl is immune. But it switches into a Bug Rock type, which means it will work now, the Prankster. Teleport switches it into Swoobat, and this game looks very much over. Psychic there for a decent amount of damage. Meteor Beam there. Hurricane. And Garganical comes in now. Meteor Beam. And Thunder Wave. It's immune because of Purifying Salt. Simple Beam now gives the Shuckle simple Water Pledge. KOs the Shuckle. And Mercy will win the set 2-0. Mercy with a 0 Pokemon difference, and Crystal with -7. And we move on to our final match. Bats against Maisie. Maisie sends out the Ludicolo, and that's Metagross. The Metagross is now immune to ground, and Swords Dance ups the Ludicolo's attack. Blizzard there. Extra Sensory won't do a whole lot though. Slack Off immediately healing back to full there. Gunk Shot won't do anything. Jaw Lock almost gets rid of the Ludicolo. Dual Wing Beat misses, and Esper Wing KOs the Ludicolo. Kommo coming out now. Water Spout, not doing a whole lot there. Shadow Punch for a decent amount of damage. Judgment coming out now. Hydro Cannon for a good amount of damage there. Zen Headbutt will miss. Kommo recovers from the recharge there. Triple Axle misses the Metagross. Acupressure upping its special attack there. Guard Swap. Rising Voltage will do a little bit of damage. Grassy Glide. And Earthquake there. Rock Throw and they're both in the red, but Knockoff gets rid of the Komo. Delmai is coming out now. Focus Blast is immune. Moonblast is not enough to get rid of the Metagross and goes for Synthesis. Healing up once again. Magic Room coming out. Ice Spinner is resisted by the Metagross, but the Metagross does have to struggle though. Skill Swap and struggle, and down goes the Metagross. Delmai's teleports and cast form is now out. Dragonite out now. Worry Seed forces uh, um cast form into Insomnia. Accelerock, their court change will not do anything as there are no statuses currently on the field. Spirit Shackle is immune. Stone Edge for some super effective damage there. Blast Burn will do a whole lot of damage, but the Dragonite must recharge here. Swagger misses, and Hydro Steam gets rid of the cast form. Thundershock won't do very much to the Delmais. Endeavor are doing a decent amount of damage. Work up, upping its attack and special attack. Magnet Rise, Powder Snow, and the Delmais is now frozen, and you think that would be it for the first battle of the set. And stored power does get rid of the Delmais, and Bats wins the first battle as we move on to the second battle now. And away we go. Metagross and Ludicolo starting off. Once again, Sheer Cold on the first turn, but it does miss. That could have been scary for Maisie there. Ludicolo taking some damage there. Electro Web gets a crit, lowering its speed. Scold doing a decent amount of damage. Wave Crash there. Solar Beam. And then Power Trip there. Solar Beam coming out, which does a decent amount of damage. Body Slam there. And the Delmais comes out for Maisie. And Head Smash does a lot of damage, but the Metagross is down because of it. The Meowstic coming out now. Fury Cutter not doing a whole lot there. Ice Fang for some decent damage. And the Meowstic is frozen. And now Bat switches into Dragonite. Heat Crash doesn't do very much. Sky Attack there. Howl upping the Delmais' attack. But the Sky Attack does get rid of Delmais. Kommo out now. Absorb, Growl lowers the Kommo's attack. Oh, but it nullifies it there with Bulk Up, also upping its defense. But Dragonite gets Ingrain, which will will heal every turn now. Flying Press the Draco Meteor, and that is the Kommo down, and this is looking like a very one-sided match here. Electro Ball there, Lava Plume, and then Hurricane there, Hurricane. Vine Whip does not do very much. Ingrain still healing it. Pollen Puff does a decent amount of damage there. Focus Energy, which means the cast form does have a higher amount to crit. Whirlwind, but it can't be switched out because of the Ingrain. Kowtow Cleave does a lot of damage, and this is basically almost over. Trick Room. Maisie will basically need a miracle here. Ice Spinner does some huge damage, but it's not enough. And the Toxic coming out, so no matter what happens here, the only way cast form could have done something was with rest, but the sludge bomb finishes it off anyway. Okay, that will be a 2-0 victory for Bats. Bats going up to a plus 10 Pokemon difference, whilst Maisie's on a -9. Bats will go atop of the standings, whilst Maisie is at the bottom of the standings. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in week 3.